Hey guys, and welcome to SkillLink. In one of our previous videos, we took a look at the future of electric vehicles in India. In this one, we are going to break down the electric vehicle into smaller components and take a look at each one of them in detail. We have Ankita here with us, who is going to be walking us through the batteries. So Ankita, I've been given to understand that the batteries we use in electric vehicles are the same as the ones we use in our laptops and our mobile phones, lithium-ion batteries. Are these any different, or are they pretty much the same composition?
The basic difference is that cell phones and laptops require lesser power and we can go for only one number of cells, whereas EV demands more power and we need to go for higher capacity batteries, as a result of which we need to go for more number of cells connected in series and parallel.
So when you say the batteries are connected, the cells are connected in series and in parallel, is there any difference in that?
Okay, so when there is a high voltage demand, we go for cells and series connection, and when we have a higher capacity demand, we go for cells in parallel connection. But there should be both series and parallel connection as per requirement.
Say I want to buy an electric vehicle. Now, what are the things I should be considering when it comes to the battery alone?
Okay, so the criteria for a battery to fit into EV are it should have high power to weight ratio. By power to weight ratio, it means the ratio in between the power generated by the battery to the weight of the vehicle. The second criteria is high specific energy. By specific energy, it means the amount of energy a battery can deliver compared to the mass of the vehicle. Generally, it is expressed as watt-hour per kilogram. The third criteria for a battery is it should have higher capacity for longer range. Capacity can be defined as the amount of energy that it can deliver at a single discharge. Generally, it is expressed as watt-hours.
Okay, and what is the difference between capacity and specific energy of a battery?
Specific energy is the capability of a battery to do work, whereas capacity is the amount of energy that it can deliver.
Obviously, not all electric vehicles are the same. Some are designed for city commutes, and now they're planning to have rallies with electric vehicles as well. What do you think is the role of a battery when it comes to the performance of an electric vehicle?
Okay, so for this question, I would first like to specify the different types of lithium-ion batteries that's there in the market today.
Okay.
So there are almost 6 different types of lithium-ion batteries. They can be named as the lithium cobalt oxide. The second is the lithium manganese oxide. Then it's lithium nickel manganese cobalt oxide. We can abbreviate this as NMC. Lithium iron phosphate. Lithium nickel cobalt aluminum oxide NCA. Lithium titanate. So these are the 6 different lithium ion batteries that's there in the market. So they have different electrochemistries, and based on the electrochemistries they have different performances that it shows, and based on that we can go for what type of battery is required in an electric vehicle.
So when I look at this graph, it's clear that if I want a battery which gives me good performance but not much of life, then it's going to cost me, it's going to be much cheaper to buy. But if I want a battery which is going to last as long and is going to give me good amount of performance, then it's going to cost me more. So is cost the only criteria when it comes to batteries?
Yes, cost is one of the factors, but we need to look for other parameters also for different types of lithium-ion batteries. Suppose say we have lithium cobalt oxide battery, it would have higher specific energy and also it would have higher cost. But if we look into the lithium titanate oxide battery, it has lesser specific energy and the cost is quite less. Comparatively, here the safety and the lifespan is more than the lithium cobalt oxide. Similarly, we can see the differences here for different types of lithium-ion batteries like the manganese oxide, the iron phosphate battery, and NMC and NCA. So this way we can compare the parameters of the different types of lithium-ion batteries and go for the one as per required.
And what about charging? What should we keep in mind?
So we need to look for a certain number of factors here. Suppose let's say the size of your battery. If you have a higher capacity battery, the charging time would be obviously more. The next is it depends on the state of charge it is in. Suppose your vehicle is at 0% charge, it would take more time to charge completely if in case it was at 50% charge. The next is it also depends on the maximum charging rate of the vehicle. You have a vehicle which has the charging rate at say 7 kilowatt, but you go to a charging station which has a higher charging rate, maybe at 11 kilowatt. it does not mean that it will charge at 11 kilowatt. It would charge at its own charging rate.
Which is 7.
Yes. The next point is it also depends on the maximum charging rate of the charging station or the charger point. If the charger point has a charging rate at say 5 kilowatt, but your vehicle's charging point is at 7 kilowatt, the vehicle would charge at 5 kilowatt only. The next point that we can look for is the environmental factors. At a colder region, the vehicle will take more amount of time to charge the vehicle compared to an ambient temperature.
This is a relatively new technology. What do you think are the challenges faced by the industry when it comes to electric vehicle batteries as such?
Okay, so once a battery reaches 80% of its life, there is no way that we can use the rest of the 20%. In that case, we need to replace the battery with a newer one, and this is one of the challenges that's been recently faced. If the battery is charged in a haphazard manner, it induces stress in the battery, thus reducing the battery's life.
Okay, so you mean to say that if I'm going somewhere and my battery is at say 50% charge, I should wait for it to reach 20% before I charge, or can I charge it right away?
Yeah, so if you want to recharge your battery at 50 or 60%, this would cause a reduction in the life cycle of the battery. So it is always recommended to wait for the battery to discharge till 20% and then you go for recharging your battery, thus saving the life of the battery.
Okay, what else? Is there anything else?
Yeah, so you also need to look at the cost factors and the safety measures. So when it comes to cost, battery accounts for the highest price among all the other components in the electric vehicle.
Thank you, Ankita, for taking the time off to explain how electric vehicle batteries work. This was a very informative session and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. For more videos like this, do remember to like, share and subscribe to our channel. And until then, stay tuned to SkillLink.